Have you had a relative pass over to spirit and you've not heard from them, or you can't feel them, or they've not done anything, or even come to you in dreams or things like that? That's the easiest thing for them to do, by the way, if you ask them for that. Yeah. So if they've just passed, or if they've said they've even been gone 6 months, it's perfectly normal. It's fine. They've got to explore spirit world. You know, they go over there, they have a life review, they have a little rest, and then they go to the soul group, which is like who they're related to up in spirit world, the friends, etc. And they enjoy all that. My grandma died, it'd been nearly a year ago now. And for the first 6 months, even though I'm a psychic medium, she didn't come through to me. And I kept saying, you know, Granny come through, and she was psychic as well, same as me. Her mum was psychic too. And I kept saying, Granny, will you come through? Will you, you know, I scattered her ashes on a beach and I felt her then. But beyond that, I've not felt her. So, and I was teaching one day and my student had been here an hour. And she says, I'll have to tell you something. She says, little old lady stood outside of me and she's been stood here for the last hour. And I'm my grandma. She come through to my psychic student, but not me. But it could have been at that point that I was still sort of grieving, or I was upset, or my vibration were low, and my student's vibration were a little bit higher, and she picked up on my grandma. I've since been told she doesn't want to upset me, so she doesn't want to come through at the moment. But people say, I can't feel them, they haven't done anything, I can't. You can ask them. So let's imagine it was your grandma. So you can say grandma, or even grandma in spirit world if you want to be specific. So you say, Grandma, will you come through to me? And you can say in a way that I understand. It can be a smell, you know, if it were her perfume. It can just be a feeling. You can see them in your dreams. That's real easy. It's real easy for them to do, is that. Don't ask them for complex things at the moment, like to appear in front of you or move things, moving objects and things. It's a little bit more difficult, is that. But bear in mind that spirit was a lovely place. So they might be in the gardens, they might be in the hall of music, they might be anywhere like that. Yeah. So, you know, if you're in the lovely gardens or the hall of music, we say, hey, come here, come down and tell me you love me, you know. And the easiest way to connect with them is send up love and think about them. You know, here on earth, we think about people and then they telephone you 2 days later or something. You say, we're thinking about you. Usually happens within a couple of hours, to be fair, you know, and that's love. That's how love works. So you send it out and they feel it and then they think about you. And generally, yeah, they telephone you the same day or things like that. And that's how spirit world works. So if you send love up or you think of them, you can put the photograph and you put flowers at the side of the photograph if you want in memory of them, etc. If it's bad weather, raining, etc., I always say, if they're in a grave, I won't go stand at the graveside, because most people are very practical. They go, why is she stood outside in the rain when she could be at home looking at my photograph and talking to me? Yeah. So I'm not saying don't do that, but if it's an impractical day and you're going to get cold or just think about that. Yeah, you can go another day. It's okay. They're with you in your house, in your home. You know, even if you move house, people worry when they move house. They say, will my person in spirit world come with me? Yeah, they will. Yeah, they will. Absolutely. It's love that connects you, not bricks and mortar. It's just love. Yeah. So if you don't feel them, ask them for a sign. I mean, if they've only been gone a couple of weeks, I'd kind of not. You know, I'd wait 2 months, 3 months if you can, or a minimum, and not disturb them as such. Let them sort of settle in spirit world. Yeah. But if you say, can you come to me in a dream, or can you send me a sign? And we always say, can you send me a sign? I will understand, and it don't mean you're stupid. Yeah. I get music through. I sing songs and I think, what am I singing? Yeah, that was just really relevant. Or white feathers people look for, squirrels, robins, things like that. You can look for things like that. A lot of people miss signs because you could be sat in your living room, like what happened to me, and a robin could jump. It can be any bird, by the way, but a robin could jump on your window and go like this at you. be looking at you. And if you're watching TV or you've got music in your ears, or your children are running around, you might miss it. You might miss that sign. You might go out on your pavement, there's a rogue flower growing up from in between the cracks on the pavement. That can be a sign. All sorts of different signs. I think squirrels are a sign as well when I see them. All sorts of different signs. White feathers. Yeah, people like white feathers. And pennies. It can be pennies. And all over. Finding things all over. Finding something that belonged to them that you didn't know you had. Or, somebody may mention, if they're cooking, they may mention the favourite dish, and you think, oh, that was my grandma's favourite dish. Yeah. It can be, there's angels everywhere. You can have an angel in a supermarket on a checkout, and she may mention something she may say something to you that your granny used to say, old-fashioned phrases, like, never trust a man whose eyebrows meet in middle. Oh, one of my grandmas. And they may just say something like that, and you think, oh, my grandma used to say that. Yeah, that's what my grandma said. Yeah. And again, that's a sign. That's a sign. And it's just letting you know that they're kind of here, but on another plane, another vibrational plane. So it's kind of letting you know they're here and they're around. They see you. They're not there 24 hours. They see you. They look at you. No, they don't look at you when you're in the bedroom doing, you know what I mean, activities. When you're doing things like that, they're not going to watch that. If they don't want to watch it on Earth, they're not going to watch it up there. Okay, so they're not going to look at that. But they can be around you. They can be around you anytime. They're not generally around you 24/7. When I do readings, sometimes the people will say, I'm going home with them. So the person I'm reading for will say, oh, your grandma's coming home with you. Whoever, in spirit, it can be anybody. Your grandma's coming home with you. So when you go home, sit in a quiet room. I usually say not a kitchen. Quite busy kitchens, they like quiet rooms. So a quiet room like a living room, bedroom, and just send your love up. And then sometimes you might feel them. When I've got people coming for readings, I put my hands out like this and stand by a window, and I say, Spirit World, I've got Jane coming at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Please be with me. Please let Spirit be with me, etc. And giving me gifts to help do a fantastic reading for Jane. And sometimes, 99% of the time, I will feel heat on my hands. It can be days like today, it's windy, blustery, horrible. And I'll feel heat on my hands, and I know then that Spirit's with me, or that my guides are with me, and the reading's going to go okay. Sometimes, on the very rare occasion, I feel nothing. And I think, oh no, I don't remember Doris Stokes from years ago. Doris Stokes used to do it on stage. She filled the biggest arena in Australia ever, twice over, by the way, twice over. And she was brilliant. And she used to say, it's like being a singer and going on stage and not knowing whether you've got a voice to sing. Yeah. So, but when I don't feel nothing, I think, oh no, Spirit's out there. Spirit world's not with me. My guide's out with me. What am I going to do? And then the person doesn't turn up. They miss their appointment for some reason and they don't turn up. So I didn't need it. Yeah. I also don't use it for silly things. I might use it for things like buying a car. So if I say to Spirit, help me, again, you can ask them. You can say, help put the right words into my mouth to get this job. Help me find a new car. And I actually went to the car show. I knew which car showroom I was going to. I just felt drawn to them. And I thought, I'll have to go. And I touched this. Obviously, the salesman thought I were bonkers, they're not into psychics. He thought I were a bit mad. And I walked around and I touched the bonnet of every single car. And when there were about 20. And when I felt one, that's the one. That's the one I want. I want this one. Took some finding because we're at the top of the showroom as well. But yeah, I love that one. I want that one. And they can help you with things. So if you don't feel, ask them. So ask them for a sign. Ask them for a small sign. They don't have to work that hard. They don't have to use all their energy. We don't have to, I go out to a lady. I've been going to her 30 years now. And every time I go out to her, all the living room, all the pictures are all skew if. They're all knocked sideways. And her husband does that on a regular basis. But that might not be a thing. As I've been a psychic 40 years, I've had 4 white feathers. So it's obviously not my thing, yeah? My thing's music and things like that. So it will resonate with you and not necessarily other people. A person in spirit, if they've got, let's say they've got 2 daughters down here, one daughter might see them in dreams and one daughter might get white feathers or a sign or something, yeah? They get anything, yeah? So just accept the signs when you get them, but just ask them, say spirit, grandma in spirit, whoever you've got in spirit. Can you just show me? Can you tell me you're fine? Can you let me know you're fine? Can you show me a sign? Yeah. And you just might feel it as well. You don't have to hear it. We don't always have to hear it. We feel it. And sometimes we say things and people say, how did you know to say that? And I just know. Did you hear it? No, I don't necessarily hear it. I just said it. Yeah. If you want to learn tarot skills, psychic skills, or if you're still dealing with grief, I've got a dealing with your own grief video guide, tarot guide, tarot guide, psychic guide. I've lost my words now. I've been going 10 minutes. That's why I need a coffee. They're all on my Teachable. If you go to Linktree, if you go to the comments below, you'll find me on Linktree, and you'll find a tarot guide, video guide, dealing with your own grief guide. There's also some meditations. There's a meditation where you can contact your loved one in spirit. There's a meditation where you can contact your big guide in spirit, one expanding your aura and one for tarot. So go check it out. If you have any questions, pop your questions below and I'll try and answer them on video.